know, and you don't have to play that in time. You just got to give yourself enough time to find the next change.
Yeah.
Now, what's always going to hold you up, anybody here that's doing this, is trying to play it in time. When you're trying to get lines, go out of time to make sure you make the change that you can't find when you're in time. So, for example, God, what's your name again? Sarah. You're already playing on changes, nice, but how do you change the lines you're playing, you know? You literally have to slow up before you go where you would normally go and you go somewhere else. So if I go. I would never have done that. I wouldn't have time to. Right, that was me going there early. Let's say you start doing that. Okay, let me figure out what that is. Now you could either go, or you can go. When it comes to playing on lines, it's the hardest thing to do in music, I think. And the only possibility is patience. Now, I don't mean the kind of patience where like, okay, all right, this will take longer than I think. I mean, where you're not looking to see when it even's working. You're just working it. You don't brush your teeth with expectations. To learn lines, you would have to have a similar attitude. Okay, I'm going to take these two changes. I mean, I could have gone, but really intelligent. Where am I going? You want to wait for that, because in a year from now, that's more familiar. Oh, yeah. The fact that I'm doing it in time is not because I possess the ability to do it that you don't possess. I did the homework. So it's important to know there's homework and then there's homework, and this takes homework, but it takes a patience that never ends. You're never rewarded for your patience, except for the fact that you play better this year than you did last year. Whereas when you're trying to conceive of the whole thing, you play the same this year as you played last year, and that's when you start to get upset. Like, what's really changing? You have to go, when it comes to lines on changes, you have to really appreciate, no, I can't even say it, incremental changes, no. You have to stop looking for incremental changes. Keep looking for the right line, you know? And you'll notice that as you review certain changes in certain keys, they will come faster. That's the progress. So watch. Where am I going? Now, I guarantee you, if that's the way you're moving through changes, a year from now, you'll be doing this. Trying another key. You're not looking when you practice to see how well you're playing. You look for what you don't know. Doesn't that make a lot more sense for practicing? Than to try to fortify yourself with the idea that you know something? That's not practicing. So let's say I do another key. That was E minor to E flat major 7. So what if it was F minor to E major 7? Now at first it's going to take, not me, but you. You have to get out of time to make sure you find the notes that you're always missing when you're in time. Then it takes a patience. You know, it doesn't take patience. You actually have to do a root and canal. You have to take out from this practice the urge to get better. It's just something you do. And you know what? If it's just something you do, you'll never stop doing it. And you'll notice that you're catching the changes faster. And after a while, it goes in time because you don't have to pull up short at the end of the bar to find the good shit. So if I go, wherever you are, so say I start here. If I start here. If I start here. How about here? Then you find yourself just starting to riff on it, you know? So that's what it takes. And again, you know, there's no hope. Because if you're going to rely on hope, then you're probably going to be disappointed. So I was talking this morning, I was saying, we're not installing apps, we're installing a whole new system, right? So in the old system, which was Catalina, there was hope. In the new system, which I've called Tempe, Arizona, it's pretty new agey there, there's no hope. They took that out of the system. That's great. Hope just makes you impatient. If you hope you play better today, then when you're disappointed, you don't feel like practicing tomorrow. So let's just get rid of hope. But from this system, we don't need patience because we're not trying to get anywhere. But we are doing something. And as long as we keep doing it, we notice this incremental change. And in that case, our work on our effortless mastery part is to not get rattled by the change. Oh, I played good last night. Great, forget it. Go back to the original exercises. If you're playing on Stella by Starlight. Oh. Where am I going? Now, I'm always using the altered scale on the 5 chord because that's the difference between amateur and professional. If somebody goes, actually, it's pretty good. But if they can't even find the A flat when that dominant 7 chord comes, you know what I mean? All right, that was an amateur. Here's a professional. The only difference was the altered notes on the 5 chord. So it really does pay to focus on how 5 moves to 1. If you want, once I've seen everybody work on their individual thing, I'll give you a great clinic on lines, which may relate to you and may not. I know a few people it definitely does. And probably some other people it's not relevant, but you'll enjoy it anyway because I'm doing it. Okay, so who's next? We did some good work the other day. Who's next?